Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today, as part of the mindfulness journey, and today I'm going to talk to you about our inner critic. We all have one and it does serve a purpose. So why do we have one and what is its purpose is what I'm going to talk to you about today in this video. Those who don't know me, I'm Charlene and I'm the owner of the Mindfulness Journey. It's a mindfulness meditation company filled with also mental health strategies, tips, and practices. I'm a registered psychotherapist as well as a mindfulness-based stress reduction teacher. And these are all strategies that I've used with my clients and myself to help me to get out of my head and to get into my life. And I'm going to help you to learn how to do the same. So today, as I said, I'll be talking about the inner critic. So what's the inner critic? We call it different things, but really it's that little voice, and sometimes it's a loud voice, but it's that voice inside our head. Oftentimes it's kind of a bully. Sometimes it can be our cheerleader, which is great, but it's not always, right? It's the, well, why did you do that? And you shouldn't have said that. And you really should, right? Like the shoulds in particular. The inner critic loves the shoulds. It loves the judgments. This person shouldn't have done this. Well, that's not fair and they should be punished. And why is this happening to me, right? Like, these are some of the thoughts that the inner critic likes to spew, right? Like it likes to be like, oh, this isn't fair. Why would you do that? Nobody wants to hear what you have to say, right? It shows up a lot for everybody. But in particular, because I work a lot with entrepreneurs, like new ones, shows up a lot when we're starting our own business. When we're looking to launch a program or even to just to tell people that we know that we have a business, right? Oh, it shows up a lot then. So why, right? Why do we have this? It started out back in the day. So why do we have this? Our inner critic, this voice, is in response to emotions that show up. We get nervous, it shows up. We get angry, it shows up, right? And so from an evolutionary perspective, a lot of the times that it showed up was to help us to stay out of danger, right? It was that voice that was like, well, you don't want to go there and you want to stay here, right? Don't go to this watering hole. That's where all the crocodiles live and they're going to eat you, right? That in that situation, it served a purpose and we needed it. But sometimes now it still shows up like telling us like, this is dangerous when it's not, right? Something makes us nervous. Our inner critic can't really distinguish between nervous and anxiety, right? Nervous and danger. So it shows up. Oh, you want to put out a sales page and you want to tell people that you've got this course for sale? Oh no, danger, 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 right? That's when it shows up. You're scared, you're nervous, and it shows up and it tries to talk you out of it because it's safer or feels safer because you're not really in danger. But it feels safer to not do these things. So it serves a purpose, but sometimes it can get confused, right? When you're walking down a dark alley in the middle of the night and you're alone and it's telling you like to be mindful of your surroundings, that's serving a purpose. When you're crossing a street and it's telling you like, oh no, it's a little busy, there's a lot of cars coming, this isn't an area to jaywalk, it's serving a purpose. It's trying to keep you safe. When it's showing up and it's like, I'm going to do a webinar, I'm going to launch a course or a program, or I'm going to tell people I've started a business, and it's showing up as like, no, you know, that's not safe and that's not a good idea. And you should continue to like, you shouldn't do this, right? When it shows up in those situations and it's trying to talk you out of doing it, you're not actually in danger, but it feels that way. So I help people to recognize when their thoughts and their emotions are showing up, what is showing up, and how to work with them. I have a program where I call it silencing your inner critic. We're not really silencing anything. Like, it will still show up, but we're learning how to work with it in this program. And I will link to that in the description below this video so you can check it out. Working with our thoughts, noticing when they show up. Mine shows up when it comes to asking for help, for feedback. Sometimes have perfectionistic tendencies. Anybody else? Raise your hand. If you're the same, I want everything to be perfect. And so I get nervous about asking people to, like, hey, can you give me feedback on my my offer, my landing page, what I'm thinking about for this program? I get nervous because what if somebody hates it? Nobody's ever, in my experience, as mean as my inner critic tells me they're going to be. So I notice, like, oh, I'm feeling nervous. I'm worried about what somebody's going to say. That's what's showing up. The thoughts are showing up around that. So I work with it by, like, reminding myself what I check the facts. Odds are this person who I know, my friend who I'm talking to, is hardly going to be a bully towards me. If they were, they wouldn't be my friend. So if I ask them for feedback, they'll give me constructive feedback. They won't just be like, well, this sucks. Like, oh, I like this. This needs a bit of work. Did you ever think about this? Right? Constructive. But like my initial inner critic will be like, well, no, you shouldn't talk. You shouldn't show it to them. This sucks. This is terrible. Right? I notice these thoughts. I remember that thoughts are just thoughts. They're not facts. And so I notice, okay, this is what's coming up. It's coming up because I'm feeling nervous, because I'm being a little more vulnerable by asking people for help. I get uncomfortable asking for help, but this is okay. And I can still do the thing I want to do. So I can still ask for feedback. The more we practice these things, like everything, the easier it gets. I've asked for feedback a few times now. I'm in a lot of I'm in masterminds, and right, we're all learning together. It's a safe place to ask for feedback, but it still makes me nervous. But the more I've done it, the more I've asked for help, the more I've shown people the things that I'm working on, the easier it gets. It's like everything we practice. Noticing the inner critic showing up, working with it, and learning how to do the thing anyways. And that's really what silencing your inner critic is about, is to help you to learn how to work with your thoughts, to notice them, to pay attention, to see how they're showing up inside of your body, because they do. Our thoughts feed our emotions, which show up as sensations in our body, and which all of this leads to affecting what we say, think, do, and how we react. Sounds kind of complicated, but I break it all down for you inside of the program. And also, the first step is paying attention to our thoughts. What am I thinking? What is this voice saying to me? And is this true? It's one place to start, right? So you notice this inner bully, this critic showing up for you. What is it saying to you? And is it real? Is it factual? Am I really in danger in this moment, or am I scared and nervous? And it's okay to be scared and nervous. We all get that way. But noticing, how is this showing up in my body? Am I really in danger? So I invite you to start there, to start asking yourself these questions when this voice shows up. So I said, I go into it a bit more inside, and I'll link to it below this video. And all of my videos are around helping you to work with your thoughts, to get out of your head and into your life, because our thoughts are the only thing we can control, because they're here and now in this moment. And learning how to work with them helps us to learn how to do the things that we want to do, right? To launch the programs that we want to launch, to put ourselves out there, to be more vulnerable, to speak to people, something I could never do before. I was so shy. And as I said, perfectionistic tendencies. If it wasn't going to be perfect, I didn't want to do it because I was worried about getting embarrassed. And now, like, it's like, I mean, look at me filming this video with my hair that was shaved in bits from my most recent surgery. I had a lot of them. I have a few more coming. But I'm not as worried about, the external stuff that I that tends to stop me from doing, just tends to stop us from doing things, right? The worries about the judgments, the external judgments, the internal ones, right? Learning how to work with them is what I help you to do inside the mindfulness journey so that you can do the hard things, do the things that make you nervous. Like filming YouTube videos post-surgery or in between surgeries, like I am right now. I hope you liked this video and that you got something out of it. Please feel free to share any questions in the comments and I will get back to you about them. As I said, I'll put a link into the descriptions to sign up for my Silencing Your Inner Critic program. I hope you like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye.